How's it going, everybody? It is I, Visual. Hope you guys are having a beautiful day, and welcome back to another Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle versus Braden over here in the Ubers tier. So if you do enjoy this, make sure to hit that like button on the video, and the team I'm using is in the description if you do want to try it out. Made by me, and it's one of my favorite teams I've actually built. I kind of want to explain it a little bit. So the team premise was just I wanted to use Zekrom really badly in Ubers because I'd rarely ever see Zekrom used in Ubers. I made a showdown live of this team as well if you want to check it out. I'll have it in the description or in the comments. And yeah, basically if you ever use like Tapu Bulu, Kartana, and OU, it's kind of like that, you know, get the terrain up so that Kartana can go for strong leaf blades and grass terrain. Same with this Zekrom, you get the electric terrain up and then you can hit hard with Bolt Strike. And Zekrom is Choice Scarfed with Adamant Nature, so that you can just, you know, hit them nice and good. And I have Outrage and Dragon Claw, just, you know, stab moves. And then, yeah, pretty much hits like everything except for Groudon. So that's why I have an Adamant Groudon EMZ Dugtrio KOs Primal Groudon, hopefully, if they're not max defense or just like have a lot of HP and defense. And then we have Spadef Xerneas for, Spadef Duskmane for Xerneas, Salamence Mega with Intimidate because I was struggling with physical attackers, mainly Ultra Necrozma and regular Duskmane Swords Dance. So with this team, I was like, okay, let me just put max defense Salamence with Defog and Roar on there, and it worked out pretty well. And then Arceus Water kind of completes like a core of not losing to Primal Kyogre and kind of playing around with it because I don't have a water switching if I don't have an out water type. And then I can maybe play around like Thunders and stuff, maybe go into Dugtrio or Zekrom because I could take a Thunder with those guys. So yeah, I just really like this team. That's why I wanted to explain it. Maybe I'll have the time skip if you don't care about that in the comments too. But I think most people will like to, you know, just hear me talk about my team. I don't know, hopefully. So I just lead off Tapu Koko. It's a really nice lead in Uber's tier. It's max HP, max speed. It actually can sometimes check Yveltal, unless Yveltal is like toxic. But you can, you know, kind of play around that with toxic of your own and maybe Thunder it here and there. Maybe you turn on out. So yeah. Tapu Koko is kind of, in a way, checking Yveltal on teams. So I just U-turn, get the terrain up. That's what I like to do with Koko. And I was thinking of Toxicking, but at the same time, what if you did switch? I probably should have just Toxic right there, because I really just wanted to U-turn on the Groudon, potentially coming in and bringing Dugtrio and just groundsy it, but that is not the case. He just throws off a Judgment with his Arceus Water. And Duskmane, you know, can take that really well. I got to keep Duskmane healthy, though, for the Xerneas in the back. I cannot let Duskmane take any sort of massive damage, because I will lose to Xerneas. That's why Xerneas is a massive threat in the Uber series. You gotta have something specifically for it, okay? You gotta have that nice, juicy Stun Steel Strike to 2-hit KO it, hopefully. Because Xerneas do like to run defense EVs. So I bring in Salamence on the Groudon. Hopefully it's not gonna be Hidden Power Ice. I've rarely ever run into a defensive Hidden Power Ice Primal Groudon. Usually they're just like a Rock Polish set or just like offensive. So if it is offensive, then maybe I can, you know, play around it with Arceus Water or something like that, or Dugtrio. And I mean, I'll lose Mega Salamence, but I can bring in Dugtrio afterwards and just ground and easy it. Or I could roar it out and start setting up like Swords Dances and Rock Polishes. So I just throw off some Facades because I just want to, you know, do some nice chip damage to him. And yeah, he just brings in Duskmane, goes for the Autotomize, and I'm just roaring this right out because I played enough Duskmanes and, you know, Ultra Necrozmas. They always just Swords Dance and up and try and set up, so I just roar them the heck out. I can't really do much else since this Mega Salamence is only Facade as his attacking move. So I stayed over here. I think I went for Roost because I wanted to just gauge the damage of Dragon Ascent, or if you wanted to go for a Z move because it could be Fly Z, but he has Dragon Claw and I didn't expect that because, yeah, funny, Dragon type with Dragon Claw, but it's just the standard sets. Rayquaza never really runs a Dragon move. They run Dragon Ascent, V-Create, Earthquake. I've seen Surf, I mean, for Primal Groudons with its ability Airlock. Dragon Dance, it just never really runs a Dragon move, but I guess I should have just went to Arceus Water as a scout. I was really thinking of going to Arceus Water, because it does have Ice Beam. I can just KO Rayquaza and live anything, but I should have just played it safe. So I lost my Mega Salamence, which sucks, but it's not the end of the world, because I can bring in Arceus Water, Toxic his Arceus Water as it came in, because I expect him to switch out, and then I can bring in my Duskmane as he defogs for me, so I can get my rocks back up. Now, I could have defogged my own with Mega Salamence, but I wanted to keep my rocks on his side of the field too, and it just chips away at his Rayquaza and stuff like that, and it's really good to chip away at Rayquaza, putting in range of maybe a Sun Steel Strike if you can't like hard switch it in, stuff like that, because Rayquaza is definitely a big threat with Life Orb. So I make a really, really risky play there, predicting Primal Groudon to want to come in, but it worked out because he did bring in Primal Groudon. Like, he brought it in before against Duskmane, so I was like, okay, he has to maybe try and bring it in. Expect me to go for rocks right there. and you know, threaten me out, because Primal Groudon really just rips me, or every team, just destruction. Okay, but luckily I got this play right, and yeah, Duck Trio just destroys Primal Groudon with the Ground EMZ, and he is trapped with Arena Trap, so he can't switch out. In comes Marshadow. I might as well keep Duck Trio because I have a pretty easy switch into Marshadow, which is Arceus can easily take anything and Judgment it twice, but I get frozen from the Ice Punch, so that sucks. 10% chance. So yeah, I'm just gonna try and thaw out because might as well. I just, you know, don't really need Arceus Water, you know, just frozen in time, and yeah, he just knocks out my Arceus Water with 2 Spectral Thieves, and that's kind of unfortunate. I kind of could have kept that maybe for his Dusk main, because Judgment would do a decent chunk, and maybe I could take a hit if he's going to be Steelium Z Dusk main. So I just bring in my Koko. I'm not too sure what this Marshadow is. It has Ice Punch, it has Spectral Thief. I'm thinking it's Focus Sash. I don't know. Because I'm thinking maybe his Dusk main is going to be Z move. Usually with the Tautomized it could be, or maybe it's Weakness Policy, I don't know. Either way, he brought an Arceus Water, my Koko, so I guess he's just going to sack it. Unfortunately, I miss a Thunder. Man, I cannot catch a break with the hacks, but it's okay. We got more hacks coming. So, it's fine since he's toxic, so I'm at least racking up some type of damage, and at least I can take a hit. And plus, Tapu Koko's HP isn't that important. It's like, yeah, I can maybe take it from Marshadow, but really, as long as they don't have Yveltal on their team, and as long as I can maybe keep the terrain up for Zekrom, that's going to be the plan, because Scarf Zekrom, once Groudon is gone, it goes in with its Bolt Strike. So I decided to sack Duck Trio since I felt like Duck Trio didn't really do much versus his team anymore. Tapu Koko did more with getting the terrain up later on. And I just didn't want to take it extreme speed because it has a shot, I think, to knock me out from the range I was at, since my Koko's max HP. But he actually just went for Earthquake, so I could have maybe knocked him out with the Thunder. It is a roll, though, I think, from the range he was at after Life Orb damage to knock him out. And I just didn't want to lose Koko. So I bring in Zekrom, Scarfed. I just sacks Rayquaza. Maybe I was hoping that it wouldn't be Scarfed, but I am. In comes the Xerneas. Now, I'm not too sure what the Xerneas is. It could be Scarf, it could be Geomancy, Power Herb, so I'm just going to go into Dusk Main, make the safe call. Now, the worst case scenario, if he goes into Dusk Main of his own and has Swords Dance, but he went to Marshadow, so I was like, okay, awesome. I can take that because I can easily just switch out. I mean, I was really just fearing that Dusk Main because Tapu Koko can get the terrain up and stack itself to Marshadow. And I think he just throws off the Z move over here. So his Marshadow is actually Z move, and I was like, awesome. So his Dusk Main is probably like Weakness Policy, I would assume, with the Tautomize, and not too sure what his other moves would be. Maybe Swords Dance with Sun Steel Strike and Earthquake, or Photon Geyser. Could be just 3 attacks with Weakness Policy at Tautomize, which would be the ideal scenario for me, because then he can't boost his attack and hopefully not break through my team with my Dusk Main. But I can't really break through his Dusk Main too, unless I have Zekrom out onto the field and Electric Train is up and Bolt Strike him. So I bring in Zekrom, able to outspeed Marshadow, but he does switch out to Dusk Main, which is awesome because this is what I wanted gone, because this is one of his biggest threats, but I miss. So I'm like, okay, no big deal, but I miss again. So I'm like, oh, come on, man. Are you serious? But I still have one more shot. I'm still out of range from a Shadow Seek from Marshadow, and luckily I hit the 3rd Bolt Strike and one-shot the Dusk Main, luckily with the Electric Train still up. So in comes Xerneas. I can't one-shot a defensive Xerneas, so I'm going to switch out and hope that he doesn't pull a double again, because if he does, that's going to suck, because then he gets a free Spectral Thief and probably just wins off the game, because he could probably 2-shot Dusk Main, and I can't. I can 2-shot him too. I would have to hope that I'm out of range from a hit from Xerneas, which maybe he would have to go for Focus Blast. But luckily, that is not the case. He did not double switch. He stays in with Xerneas and stays in again. Even if he switched out, I mean, I think I would still probably win because he would not live a second Sun Steel Strike. I live a Spectral Thief, and maybe I could live a hit from Xerneas coming in. And all I really need to do is just a Sun Steel Strike it, or just Morning Sun, and stay out of range from a +2 Focus Blast, which max special defense Dusk Main can do if you are healthy enough. I think it does like 40 to 50 or 50 to 60. I don't know. It does a lot, +2 Focus Blast. But I know you could take one. So luckily, he does not even try to go to Marshadow. He's just staying in with the Xerneas, so I guess he's just trying to double down with it and hope that he can break through. But nope, Dusk Main, you cannot break through it with a Xerneas as long as you don't get hexed, or, you know, as long as you have Morning Sun and you stay as healthy as possible. And the Xerneas just doesn't boost its way up with its Geomancy, which it should not be able to do as long as you have your Sun Steel Strikes ready to go. So, yeah, awesome. Now all I really need to do is hit the Mars Shadow with a Sun Steel Strike, hope I don't get critical hitted with a Shadow Sneak on Zekrom, hit it with an Outrage, and win the game. Or Dragon Claw, I don't really know. Because as you can see, that Spectral Thief did a ton of damage. I mean, to be expected, since it is super effective. Even though we have the ability Prism Armor, it doesn't matter, because Mars Shadow is strong. And plus, we're not defensive, we're especially defensive. If we were defensive, maybe we could easily take out Spectral Thief and Morning Sun it off and beat Mars Shadow. But this Duskmane is meant for Xernesis. Now, Mega Salamence can probably take on Mars Shadow pretty easily, unless they're Hidden Power Ice, but I think a Mars Shadow MZ doesn't have Hidden Power Ice sets. Maybe, I don't know, somebody could. But most of the time, they're just like bulk up, which I actually was surprised he didn't bulk up against my Duskmane. If he did, that could have been maybe bad, because then the Sun Steel Strike doesn't do enough where, to the point, Zekrom can't knock him out. But I feel like maybe it could. But also at the same time, at +1 Shadow Sneak probably knocks out Zekrom, so maybe bulk up was the play if he did have that. But he did just reveal he had Ice Punch, Shadow Sneak, Spectral Thief, and probably last move is Close Combat. So he probably didn't have bulk up. Yeah. I mean, if he did, though, that would have probably meant Arceus Water would have just walled Mars Shadow, because that's what Arceus Water would have done either way versus him. And probably have beaten his Duskmane too. But either way, we won. Zekrom pulled through, and that's going to be a GG versus Braden. And next up, we got versus WahLuigi. And looking at his team, we got Deoxic Speed, so I'm guessing that's going to be a lead. Stealth Rocks, maybe Taunt, maybe Magico, maybe Spikes, we'll see. And yeah, not too sure what the rest are. I mean, probably Primal Kyogre, maybe Defog Giratina, I'm not too sure. And Arceus, hopefully it's not Ground, because Arceus Ground could mean a lot of trouble for my team. Especially if it's Ice Beam, but I can play around it. If it's going to be like a Judgment Ice Beam set, obviously it would beat my Mega Salamence, but Arceus Water can Toxic it, and then maybe I can Outrage it with my Zekrom or something like that. But if it's going to be Swords grounding the Arceus Ground, then maybe Salamence can Roar it out, I can Facade it, and then hopefully Arceus Water can take it and Judgment it either way. So that would be like a plan of action. Or maybe Toxic it with Top Coco, Sack it, and then Outrage with Zekrom. Like, there's ways around it. Maybe you'll lose a Pokemon here and there, but you can still get rid of it and hopefully, you know, preserve Pokemon to beat the rest of the team. So we lead off Tapu Koko, as I want to U-turn on the Deoxy Clean, because maybe he thinks I'm going to be a Screens Tapu Koko and taunt me, which he does think I'm probably that, because, you know, sometimes I do like to run a Screens Tapu Koko and try and get some sweeps, but I'm just going to be a support Koko. And, I mean, you could run Thunderbolt on Tapu Koko, but I like Thunder because it hits harder, and, you know, in the Ubers tier, you need to hit hard. Even though we are support Tapu Koko, I mean, if you run into a Primal Kyogre, you can hit nice and hard and never miss with that Primordial C. So we go into Duskmane. I was hoping that he'd taunt again, expect me to like Swords Dance up or something like that, but nope, he just wants to get those rocks up. He's tired of taunting a I guess, support mon. I don't know. Either way, in comes Vanguard, the Genesect. Gets an attack boost and goes for Blaze Kick, but misses, unfortunately. I think if he was like banded, that two-shots me, but you'll see he's not banded. I get my rocks up because I want to get rocks up versus team. You know, it's good versus him, and I don't really feel like defog and just, yeah. So I bring in Zekrom because I know I can take a Blaze Kick and I could outspeed Genesect, but he goes for the Shift Gear. I'm like, that could be really dangerous, depending on the set. If he's like Z Explosion, because then he's +2 attack, and that could probably knock out Zekrom. So he goes for the Z move, but luckily it's Steelium Z, and at +2, it is not able to knock out a Zekrom unless he critical hits me. I was really scared because if this does KO Zekrom, I don't really know what I'd go into. Probably Arceus Water, but I don't really know what else Genesect would be running. He has probably Iron Head, Blaze Kick, Shift Gear. What is his last move? I'm not too sure. Either way, Zekrom lives, Bolt Strikes him, and knocks him out cleanly, so that's awesome with Electric Train boost. In comes Yveltal. I'm like, man, I really hope you're not Choice Scarf, because then I'll bop you with a Bolt Strike, but he is, unfortunately. So maybe he just guessed that I was going to be Scarf Zekrom, where he just played it safe and, you know, just pretty much went to Yveltal on Oblivion Wing. I mean, I don't have a good switch into Yveltal unless it's a Tapu Koko, but I don't want to switch in Tapu Koko on like a Specs Yveltal or a Life Orb one. I mean, I could take on Life Orb, that's for sure, but still at the same time, I want to keep Tapu Koko healthy and just, you know, just not a chance he wasn't going to be Scarf Yveltal. Like, I was like, there's no way, but he was. I mean, Yveltal's pretty common Scarf too, but I don't know. Either way, in comes Arceus Poison as I try to Toxic something. I did not expect Arceus Poison, that's for sure, and I was really scared of Arceus Poison because I was like, oh no, is this going to be like Calm Mind? If it is, and it's a Recover with Sludge Bomb and Earth Power, that's going to be pretty annoying to deal with. I don't know how I'm going to beat this. I could just lose to it right off the bat. So I'm going to Duskmane. I'm going to hope that Sun Steel Strike can do enough and maybe hope that he's not Recover. So he did throw off an Earth Power. Obviously, I could take that since I'm especially defensive Duskmane, and I don't really need Duskmane for anything else on his team. It kind of loses everything else, so I was like, okay, might as well just stay in versus RC's Poison, because I could have maybe switched out into, like, I don't know, Salamence, roar him out, something like that, and maybe Facade him, because I know I could take out with Salamence, but luckily he has Fire Blast, Earth Power, and the last move's probably Judgment or Sludge Bomb, so that means that he does not have Recover, and he just goes down to another Sunsteel Strike, so that's awesome. So Duskmane, you did a good job versus these special attackers, taking care of Xerneas, and a RC's Poison with a Fire Blast and Earth Power with Calm Mind, so that's awesome. And yeah, sometimes Duskmane could run Earthquake, but not on this set because I like to have Morning Sun, Toxic, and Stealth Rocks. Unless you have a different Stealth Rock on the team, then yeah, you can run Earthquake. So in comes Yveltal. I just sacked the Duskmane because I don't need it anymore versus his team. Like I said, it doesn't really do much. Bring in Type Coco as I'm able to easily take anything from Yveltal, and I can throw off a Toxic because I know for a fact he does not want to take a Thunder. He wants to go into his Dragon type, which is Giratina, and I can put that thing on a timer. Now, usually Giratina O's are like Defog with Draco Meteor. They're like defensive with max special attack, modest. So that's what I'm pretty much guessing that it's gonna be. But also at the same time, that doesn't really fit a Deoxys lead team. Like usually you would want just a bunch of hyper offensive mons with Deoxys speed lead. So I wasn't too sure what this Giratina is. Is it just like a random Giratina, like with Draco Meteor, maybe Wisp Hex, Toxic, I don't know, Thunderwave? But nope, he actually throws off the Earthquake as it went to Salamence because I felt like Salamence didn't really do much versus the rest of the team. I mean, at best case scenario, it can beat this Giratina because he still has, I think, Kyogre, and yeah. Kyogre can just Ice Beam me. I can't really do much back. So it turns out he's a physical Giratina. I was like, Earthquake, and then he throws off the Phantom Force, or is that Shadow Force? I didn't read it. I don't know. Either way, it doesn't do anything because I intimidated him and we're max defense, and I just Facade him, and he goes down to Toxic, so that's awesome for me. Since Giratina was kind of a little annoying, that's for sure, because I can't have a surefire way of knocking it out cleanly without Zekrom. Because, you know, Dugtrio can't do much with Sucker Punch, and I can Memento it, but really you can just switch out. And Narcissus Water, I mean, Ice Beam, what is that going to really do? Maybe 3-shot it? I don't know. Either way, in comes Primal Kyogre. We dealt with it with Mega Salamence, and we get some nice chip off with the Facade, get knocked out, which is fine because I could bring a Dugtrio. Now I could easily go for the Ground EMZ and one-shot Kyogre, but I just really didn't feel like sitting through a Ground EMZ animation for like, I don't know, 20 seconds. However long it is. So I was like, you know what, Earthquake is a roll, we'll just go for it. Unfortunately, I don't get it, but that's fine because Arceus Water can just come in and just go for the Ice Beam. Since his last mon, he's Yveltal, he doesn't have a switch in for Arceus Water. And, you know, Kyogre does get outsped by Arceus Water. There's no way you can outspeed me. You would have to be like regular Kyogre with Scarf to outspeed me. Or like, you know, Sticky Webs or something like that. Raising your speed somehow, I don't know. But Primal Kyogre can't hold an item other than its blue orb. So yeah. That's why Arceus Water was just going to be the play after if I didn't knock out the Kyogre with the Earthquake with Dugtrio. And he couldn't switch out versus Dugtrio. That's the most important thing too. Because I wanted to lock it in and make sure he can't switch out. And he'd go down to Rocks if he did switch out. Unless he had Defog on a Scarf, Yveltal, but then he'd be locked into that. And then, yeah, I just win the game. So, I just go for some Ice Beams. I'm not too worried about this because I just don't feel like recovering. I could recover and win the game 100%. But I'm like, you know what, let's throw it down to fate. If I miss Thunders with Tapu Koko, then you win the game. But you have to hope that you dodge those Thunders, all right? So I'm not hope that I hit those Thunders so I can win the game. Because, you know, might as well let it come down to the 1v1 scenario and a little bit of luck because, you know, it could be entertaining. So let's hope that we can hit Thunder versus Yveltal. And I think we hit him Thunder at first try. I mean, I already know because I could see the turns left on the game, and yeah, we hit a Thunder. Sorry for spoiling 2 seconds ahead. But yeah, he would have to probably miss 1 Thunder. He would probably have to miss 2 Thunders to knock out Coco, I think. Probably. Because he'll get like a lot of recovery of Oblivion Wing, but I think he still goes down to a Thunder, even at max HP, maybe. I don't know. Since we're not a max special attack type of Coco, we're just running HP, like I said. So that is going to be GG versus WahLuigi. Pretty nice game. Last up, we got is versus Yuki, and Yuki got another Deoxys Speed lead. We played, you know, WahLuigi with Deoxys Speed, so another Giratina, and that's a defensive set. That's how I know is because nobody runs really a Giratina, regular Giratina, without being at like max HP, max defense. Giratina, could be, you know, offensive, but I guess he just likes to run a defensive Giratina on these Deoxys Speed leads. I don't know. People in general, I don't know. And when I play Wi-Fi battles, but yeah, Xerneas, we need Duskmane for that. Shaman could be a potential threat, but as long as I got Salmon's healthy or Zekrom healthy, I should be good to go, and maybe Arceus can take a hit and Ice Beam and one-shot it. And then Marsh out, I got Arceus Water, and then Mega Lucario, I got Zekrom to deal with that, because Zekrom outspeeds it, and it can take the Bullet Punch. You'd have to Swords Dance really high up to do some damage. I mean, it is Mega Lucario adaptability, so I mean, maybe if he chips away, like gets me at like 50%, maybe he can knock me out +2. Either way, I lead off with Zekrom. Probably should have just let off with Tapu Koko. I don't know what I was thinking, because I could just U-turn on out like I did previously to the other Deoxys lead. But yeah, I mean, it still works out because he still taunts. But unfortunately, I miss. Man, I just love missing those Bolt Strikes versus these Pokemon. I guess I'm just so used to Victini Bolt Strikes, where it has the ability Victory Star, where, you know, you raise your accuracy. You never really miss. But Zekrom doesn't have that ability. We have that, you know, I guess, cooler Mold Breaker named ability. Terrible, I'm pretty sure. That's Kyurem's, so. Either way, luckily we hit the 2 Bolt Strikes, and we wasted a lot of Bolt Strike PP because Deoxys has that ability Pressure. So I think I only had like 2 Bolt Strikes left, so I was like, crap, this is why I should not have let off with this. Should have just let off with Koko and then went a Duskmane and just Sunsteel Striked, like I did to the other one, like I said. So he brought in Xerneas. I was like, okay, I'm just going to go into my Duskmane. I mean, I don't know what you're going to do, but Duskmane is the answer. He just throws out the Geomancy with the Power. I'm like, do you not know what a Duskmane does? Come on now. I just literally send that thing in and Sunsteel Strike it, and you can't do anything unless you crit me. So, yeah, I guess maybe Yuki just didn't know, or maybe they're just like Hail Marying it. They're like, you know what, I don't feel like thinking, I'm just going to go for it. And maybe they hope that I'm not going to be especially defensive Duskmane, but I am. And yeah, Hidden Power Fire is not doing anything at +2, and we can 2-shot the Xerneas with the Sunsteel Strike. That turns out to be a pretty defensive Xerneas, though, because it took that Sunsteel Strike pretty well. But yeah, we take the second Hidden Power Fire. That could have been really bad if we did get critted, though, that's for sure. So maybe Yuki was just banking on me getting critted. I'm not too sure, because probably Xerneas just swept my entire team at that point. I think Moonblast one-shots everything on my team. Maybe I can knock it out with a Sucker Punch from the Duck Trio, but that's a definite no, because Duck Trio is not Stab, Sucker Punch, and Xerneas is bulky. So yeah, I'd have to hope that Arceus Water can take a hit, but I don't think it can. I'd have to be like specially defense to take a hit from +2. Either way, we sack it to the Marshadow, as he actually has knockoff. I didn't expect knockoff on a Marshadow, but that's cool. Alright. I can bring in Mega Selms. Hope that he's not going to be Hidden Power Ice. Hopefully Goku Black does not have that. And he does not. He just throws out the Spectral Thief. And yeah, that does absolutely nothing since we're max defense and I intimidate him. So he realizes that he's not doing anything, so he's going to switch out. He could have had Ice Punch, but since I saw knockoff, I was like, there's no way he has Ice Punch. He either has like Shadow Sneak, Spectral Thief, and Close Combat as his last moves with knockoff. So yeah, I just roost. Get some HP back as he brings in Giratina. And I've ran into Icy Wind Giratinas before, so I want to switch out just in case he is going to be Icy Wind. So, yeah. I mean, I don't really care if he Wisp me or Toxics me, because then I get the Facade boost, which would really help me. But Coco's a safer bet because we get the Electric Train up, so you can't rest. Most Giratinas have rest in this form. Giratina O's don't have rest. This form they do, and usually they just have, like, you know, Icy Wind, Wisp, Toxic, stuff like that, and Defog. They're always Defog, I think. I don't know if he has Defog, though, on this. Either way, though, he missed the Toxic on my top Coco, but he hit the second one, so that's good. I don't know if he was going to... I don't know what he was going to do afterwards, but, I mean, that sucks. 90% accuracy, but he tries to rest in Electric Train. I guess he didn't know that you can't fall asleep in Electric Train. I don't know. Maybe he just kind of herpaderped. Because I know, I played Yuki a lot. He's not a bad player. I guess he just herpaderped, or maybe just didn't play a lot of Tapu Kokos with Electric Train and then tries to rest with it. Because, you know, sometimes it really just, you know, escapes a person's minds. Like, just the little intricate things that could happen in a Pokemon battle, that there's just so many things to remember, that you gotta be like a crazy person like me to battle so much that you remember everything. So yeah, I just go into Duck Shield because I can substitute and dodge a Wisp, and I was hoping that, you know, Giratina doesn't have a move to hit me with, and lo and behold, it does not. And yeah, I get a nice Grounding Z off on it, and Electric Train does end, but the Toxic damage puts him in range of an Adamant Earthquake from Doug Trio. I mean, obviously, he barely has any HP, but I mean, it is a Giratina we're talking about. Like, Giratina max defense, that is a Pokemon that doesn't never really go down to any one hits. That is usually a physical move, unless you're using, like, a Moonblast from Xerneas. So, yeah. Doug Trio pulled it off. Nice. Well, what the hell with Tapu Koko? In comes Marshadow to randomize Doug Trio's Parade. It doesn't even matter if I have a substitute because Spectral Thief goes right through it. And, yeah, that's fine, because I just have Salamence to easily come in and just, like, scare this guy out. But he doesn't get scared out. he stays in and does nothing. Which is fine. I mean, he didn't have a switch in Vegas Elements anyway. Who does, really? He actually has the invisible focus sash, though, living the facade, which is fine because, you know, like I said, Marshadow doesn't do anything to Mega Salamence max defense. So, yeah, goodbye Marshadow. Your invisible sash didn't really matter. Even if you bring him Mega Lucario and Swords up, I'm still going to two-shot you with Facade. And then I can just bring in Zekrom. And plus, I'm going to keep Mega Salamence because they can, you know, still be pretty nice versus his team. And I'm going to sack Tapu Koko because I want Electric Terrain up. And I want Zekrom to finish off the game with Bolt Strike. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. And plus, Mega Salamence can take hit from the Shaman Sky in the back, too. Like, I don't think they run Hidden Power Ice. I mean, they could, but most of them carry, like, Healing Wish, Earth Power, Seed Flare, Air Slash, I think. Maybe Sub, I've seen. I don't know. It's a really toss-up with Shaman Sky. Could be Life Orb, maybe Scarf, I've seen. But, yeah, Zekrom comes out. Luckily, I don't miss a Bolt Strike, and I have 2 Bolt Strikes just left. Perfect amount for the remaining Pokemon that he has left. Because, you know, Pressure, Deoxys Speed used up all my Bolt Strikes, that dang Deoxys Speed. So, yeah, don't use those low PP moves versus Pressure Mons, because then you just waste it all, like what I did. So, unfortunately, I missed a Bolt Strike right there. I'm just like, well, crap. Alright, I'm going to switch out because I might as well keep it because I can outspeed it and go for Outrage, and maybe Outrage can, like, knock out Shaman Sky. And I could go into Arceus Water because Arceus Water can probably take a hit from anything if Shaman Sky wants to go for. So he doesn't even go for the Seed Flare. I could probably live a Seed Flare either way because he's not Life Orb, judging from the damage, you know. Flora Sky. I mean, you would have saw he feels Life Orb too, but he just tries to Air Slash flinch me down, but that didn't even work. So, yeah. One shot in with the Ice Beam, and that is going to be a GG versus Yuki. So, yeah, that's all the games I got. Would have had more, but sometimes people just disconnect. Literally on, like, the last Pokemon. I think I had, like, 3 games that happened. But it's fine, you know. Can't really, you know, I have no proof that they disconnect on purpose. You know, sometimes they just say that their Wi-Fi disconnects. But it does suck because then I just wanted to show it to you guys because, you know, those were good games. That Zekrom put in work. That's why I like Showdown a lot. I need to get back into Showdown. I've just been taking a break from Showdown because I've been really busy. And, yeah, I just need to get back to uploading Showdown because, you know, it doesn't matter if you disconnect. I got it on record. I mean, I could record my DS, but I don't have a capture card. I could record on my phone, but I'm not that crazy to do that. I mean, I'd rather just, you know, chill and, you know, show it to you on Citra. So, yeah, that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you do want to Wi-Fi battle me, make sure to be in my Discord. Link is in the description. You can battle other people as well over there on the Battles channel. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, yeah, I love this team. Try it out in Ubers because nobody really uses Zekrom. And it's a pretty good team, I would say. I mean, I think it's self-explanatory. Like, I explained it a little bit in the beginning. So, yeah, just have fun with Zekrom. Peace, everybody.